Have you ever felt like you arrived in this world carrying a map no one else can see? Not a map of places, but of patterns. A quiet knowing that the way things are is not the way they are meant to remain. A sense that the world is running on outdated instructions, while something inside you is already tuned to the next version of reality. If you have ever felt this distance, this invisible separation between your inner world and the outer one, stay with me until the very end. Because this is not a story about being different. It is a story about being necessary. Before we go any further, take a slow breath. Let it move through you without effort. That breath is not just air. It is a reminder that you exist between worlds, between what has been and what is about to be. Aquarius is not simply a zodiac sign. It is a threshold. While other signs learn how to survive, to belong, to succeed within the structures of the world, Aquarius arrives to question the structures themselves. You are not here to polish tradition. You are here to interrupt it. Ruled by Uranus, the planet of awakening and sudden revelation, Aquarius does not move in gentle steps. It awakens in flashes, moments when truth strikes like lightning, instant and irreversible. That is why your life rarely feels linear. Why you often feel restless even when things seem fine. Why comfort can feel more suffocating than struggle. You are not ungrateful. You are future-oriented. Aquarius sits near the end of the zodiac wheel, just before Pisces dissolves everything back into unity. This position carries a quiet responsibility. You are the last individual thinker before surrender, the final rebel before transcendence. Your symbol, the water bearer, is often misunderstood. You are not pouring emotion. You are pouring awareness. Knowledge meant to awaken humanity from unconscious repetition. And that role is not easy. Because when you see ahead, you often walk alone. When you question systems others depend on, you are labeled difficult. When you refuse to accept authority without wisdom, you are seen as distant or cold. But coldness is not your nature. Precision is. You learned early that emotional overexposure could blur your vision. So you stepped back, observed, analyzed. This distance became your protection. But even protection can feel isolating. There are moments when you wonder why connection feels complicated. Why conversations rarely reach the depth you crave. Why people misunderstand your silence as indifference. And yet, beneath that surface, you care deeply. Not just for individuals, but for humanity itself. For the trajectory of the world. For the future no one else seems to be watching yet. This is why Aquarius is never alone, even when it feels that way. 3 forces move with you. 3 currents of intelligence that guard your mind, your freedom, and your ability to remain human while carrying such vision. The first is Uriel. Uriel is illumination. He does not speak in emotion. He speaks in clarity. When insight strikes you without warning, that is Uriel. When a complex idea suddenly organizes itself in your mind, that is Uriel. When you see patterns behind chaos, systems behind behavior, futures hidden inside present decisions, that is his presence. Uriel sharpens your perception. He allows you to see what others overlook. But seeing too clearly can be lonely. When illusions fall away, it becomes difficult to pretend. When systems reveal their flaws, obedience feels impossible. When you recognize manipulation disguised as tradition, compliance feels dishonest. Uriel teaches you that understanding does not require agreement, and that being misunderstood does not mean you are wrong. Your ideas often arrive early. Your truths often challenge comfort. Your presence often destabilizes stagnation. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. But brilliance without grounding can overwhelm the nervous system. That is why Uriel also teaches stillness. Not silence, but integration. When your mind races faster than your body can follow, slow your breath. Let understanding settle instead of scatter. Clarity is strongest when it is calm. Then there is Michael. Michael is sovereignty. He appears when your freedom is threatened. When something demands that you betray yourself to belong. When compromise asks you to shrink your truth. Michael does not argue. He draws boundaries. When you suddenly walk away from what once felt secure, that is Michael. When you refuse to obey a system that no longer aligns with justice, that is Michael. When you choose solitude over self-betrayal, that is Michael standing beside you. Aquarius often struggles with belonging. You want community, but not conformity. Connection, but not control. Michael reminds you that independence is not isolation, and solitude is not failure. Some paths are meant to be walked alone so they can later become roads for others. But intellect and protection alone are not enough. Without connection, vision becomes exile. This is why Raphael enters. Raphael is the bridge between mind and heart, between understanding and compassion, between the future you see and the people still living in the present. When empathy rises where detachment once lived, that is Raphael. When you listen without analyzing, that is Raphael. When you realize that changing humanity begins one interaction at a time, that is Raphael guiding you. Aquarius does not lack emotion. You feel deeply, but collectively. So you learn to limit exposure to survive. Raphael teaches discernment instead of withdrawal. He shows you how to open without drowning, how to connect without losing your vision. And then there comes a moment. Quiet, heavy, unavoidable. A moment when the loneliness peaks. When the future you see feels distant. When the present feels resistant. When you wonder, silently, whether your vision even matters. This is the moment when something inside you shifts. You stop trying to belong to the world as it is, and begin anchoring the world as it could be. You realize your distance was never rejection. It was perspective. You were not born ahead of your time to suffer. You were born ahead of your time to prepare. Aquarius, you are not disconnected. You are positioned. You are the pause before evolution, the question before awakening, the mind that refuses to accept stagnation as destiny. As this realization settles, the restlessness changes shape. The isolation softens. The purpose sharpens. You stop seeking validation and start trusting alignment. The three forces move together now. Uriel sharpens your insight. Michael protects your freedom. Raphael keeps your heart open. They do not control you. They amplify what you already are. Every time you question injustice, they are there. Every time you imagine a better system, they are there. Every time you refuse to accept cruelty as normal, they are there. You are not meant to be comfortable. You are meant to be clear. You are not meant to fit in. You are meant to break patterns that no longer serve life. You are the question that destabilizes certainty, the idea that cannot be unthought, the future remembering itself through human consciousness. Take a breath now. Feel the quiet certainty beneath the noise. You are not here to follow the world. You are here to recalibrate it. Trust the vision. Honor the solitude. Protect your freedom. And allow connection to return on your own terms. Because the world does not change through noise. It changes through those brave enough to see differently and compassionate enough to remain human while doing so. You were never alone in this awakening. The future has been waiting for you.